Hello, I'm Mr. Salgado, and this is a video for Parent Night. I just want to quickly describe Google Classroom. It has everything you need. So if you are on the stream page, that really doesn't have anything to do with the assignments or anything. Like I'll just post like pictures of the class or the schedule. But if you want to get to the actual classwork, go to the classwork tab. And right here, it's organized according to day and date. So you could scroll all the way down to the first day of school, and it'll tell you what we did, the syllabus, and like each day has the topic we covered. It has a video recording of the lesson that we did. It's from a previous year, but everything's on here. So for example, click on this one right here, what we did on the first Thursday. We reviewed classifying real numbers.
Notes section 0.2, classifying real numbers. So what is a real number? It's a number, right?
So the video's there. This is a 24-minute lesson. It's all there for students. So the idea is if a student's absent, they could click on the post and watch the actual video lesson. The homework's right here. The solutions are right here. Here's a handout, the handout I gave on that day. And then we have the solutions that I gave on that day as well. Right here, the solutions to that handout. And there's also a video explanation of the homework. So every single day is accounted for. Every single day is accounted for. And not only that, right now we're in week 3, and today's Wednesday. We had a quiz today, but I always try to stay at least a week ahead. So if students want to, they could look at what we're learning tomorrow or the next day. So you could go, I even have the next week. Yeah, so we have week 4 and even maybe a little bit of week 5. So students are to be checking in on this every afternoon. Everything we do on that day, all homeworks, everything's on here, okay? And any worksheet that I give, they're supposed to do it in class, and if they don't finish, at home, and they're supposed to tape it into their notebook. So all I ask of the notebook is for them to have all the worksheets that I've given them taped into their notebook. And if you scroll way back to the bottom where it says resources, there's a video right here on the notebook setup. So you could click on that video. It explains the simple way to have your notebook set up by according to day and date. So everything we have on Google Classroom technically should be inside the notebook. Like it's kind of like the physical copy of the online version of the Google Classroom. What really matters is the grades. So if you go to Google Classroom and scroll down to the first day of school, you can click on syllabus and you'll be able to see the syllabus right here. So on the back side, the second page of the syllabus, scroll down to the second page, you could see their academic grade right here. So if you could zoom in for me right here, that'd be cool. As you can see, there's 70% is assessments. Now, what is an assessment? It's either a test or a quiz. So we have about 1 assessment per week. It might be a quiz, it might be a test. What's the difference? A test is maybe on 1 section or 2 sections. No, I'm sorry. A quiz is on 1 or 2 sections. A test is, 3 or more, right? But they're all going into the same category assessments. That's 70% of your grade. And then 10% is the final exam, 5% is the midterm, and 15% is other. So if you really think about this, 85% of the grade comes from some type of quiz or test. Maybe a midterm, maybe a final, maybe a quiz, maybe a regular chapter test, unit test. And 15% comes from the category other. So what is the category other? It's homeworks and maybe notebook and all this other stuff. But any actual homework that goes into the grade goes into the category other. So the practice tests always go into the grade. So any time we have a test, a couple of days before, you'll have a practice test available. So let me show you right here. If we look at Google Classroom, right now we're in week 3, and we had a quiz today, Wednesday, but the day before we had a practice quiz available, and that was actually available even before that. But that practice quiz is 100 points and it goes into the grade. But not only that, it's like the same exact thing as the actual quiz. It just has different numeric values. So it's very important that they do that, okay? Usually, I say that if it's not completed at the beginning of class on the day of the quiz, that it only goes in as half credit. But this first month's been crazy, so if there's any late work or if you see that your son or daughter hasn't done certain assignments, I'll give them full credit as long as they, do it as quickly as possible. Okay? So the grades, quizzes and tests are what's important. How can you prepare for them? By doing the practice quizzes and practice tests. Let me just double check up here. Next week, we have a test on Friday, and of course, there's already available a practice test to that test. Yeah, it's on Thursday's date, but they already have it available right now, okay? So no excuses. Everybody should be prepared for tests and quizzes because the practice tests and practice quizzes are there for you. And not only that, those practice tests and practice quizzes have video recordings that explain the answers, that provide the correct answers. So not only are they worth 100 points, but they also have video explanations. So there are no excuses. They should be getting 100% on these practice quizzes and practice tests. I'm here after school every day for tutoring. So if a student doesn't do well on a quiz or a test, they could come in for tutoring. I could help them out, and then they could retake the test or quiz and get that done, hopefully within a week of taking the original test. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.